Yeah.
I don't have forever, but I will hang around for a few.
Yeah, as long as you can.
I'm going to work at 6 a.m.
Oh, it sucks. Come on.
Yeah, I'm going to come up in a minute. But
This is a Shot from the Point special report. I am Tommy C. The New York Rangers are headed to the Stanley Cup Finals. They defeat the Montreal Canadiens 1-0 with an absolute incredible to join the party. Our two very, very happy Boston Bruin fans, none other than not legendary. Where is legendary Jake? None other Joe Cronin and Boston Troy Cornin. Guys, thanks for joining me. Thanks for supporting my team. And I want to get the take on the game. First, you, Troy, how did you feel about the Rangers' performance and going forward as far as the Stanley Cup final?
Well, it was great. I've been saying it all along. I think with the Rangers, the way the team is built, it really is built around Hank. It was obvious, in the last game that it didn't really go so well. But I told you today, it looked like from the first moment, Hank was Hank. And that's what the Rangers need, 1-0. That's the score you want to see. That's when you know it's a goaltender battle, and that's when the better one comes out on top. So I'm glad to see it that Hank's going to finally get there, and we'll see what happens next.
It is starting to look more like the last game was a complete and utter fluke. The Rangers tightened up their defense. They again exposed Montreal's weaknesses on defense towards the middle. I would say even early in the third period, the Montreal Canadiens looked simply exhausted. Joe Cronin, and I'm sure this is probably an easy question for you. Does that mean that this team is just completely overrated? I mean, yes, they have the likes of PK Subban. Yes, they have their history, and they did have they had a strong regular season. They're a growing team, but are they that good? I mean, is this team even that good?
I think they are pretty good, but I think they're not as good as maybe they thought they were, and they didn't put the full effort in every aspect. They put all that momentum into the Bruins, and then they took a dump on themselves in game one, which kind of immediately showed you that something different might be going on here. And I'm sorry, all I can think about is Henrik Lundqvist headbutting a puck into the audience.
It was a great scene, and that blocker save was nothing. I mean, somebody on, I think Marty Biron tweeted that. He goes, who's in there, Dominic Hasek or Henrik Lundqvist? It was absolutely unbelievable.
You know what he looked like? He reminded me of, I want to tell you, tonight, the way that Henrik played tonight reminded me of the way Tim Thomas played for the Bruins when he was in the zone. Because that isn't some type of save that usually Lundqvist would make, but he was not going to allow something in that net. He was going berserk, and that's the type of stuff.
No, he just shut him down.
He just shut him down. And that really says a lot going forward. I think that's the one major positive that I think I don't know how the Rangers are going to do in the next round, no matter who they play. You're dealing with both teams that don't ever make mistakes and have excellent flow and can both of those teams can skate with the Rangers. Unlike the Montreal Canadiens, I think they're a very slow, small team. But Hank has showed that he's not just a pretty face tonight, and I think he established that. It's like exactly what Joe said. It didn't look like I've never seen him make that's something like Marty would do. It's something the Dahmer would do, or maybe even a Mike Richter. But this is or Tim Thomas. He's not that type of athlete. I'm not saying he's not athletic, but he's not that type of athlete. But it's like he said. Guys, I really can't believe this shit. I got to be honest with you. I can't believe that I'm talking to you. Me and Joe met a year ago. Troy and I met during we were drafting for on Xbox Online. And we were talking about this. We are talking about this. This is nothing short of amazing. I don't want to rub it in or sound like a fucking sore winner or anything. But I mean, who could have said this in October? He would have had to have been a genius. This team it doesn't even look like the same team from April, much less the team from the beginning of the season. It is really amazing, and it is a real tribute to Lundqvist and the rest of these guys. But I do want to get your opinions. Do they have any chance next round? Be brutally honest.
Yeah, I do think they do, because of their they're all together one unit is what it reminds me of. And I haven't been listening to what the Rangers are about or really knowing what their identity is. But just going on the fact that, they have no captain. It's kind of an all or nothing, all for ourselves. Every man, plays all the lines are involved. Everyone's kind of playing solid. I just see everyone is together as one cohesive unit. And then if you throw in a goalie that's on fire or that can be on fire, that's just a solid goalie like Henrik Lundqvist. I mean, I did hear in the background someone was being interviewed. It might have been Boyle talking about the Bruins and wanting to do that with the Rangers. And I don't know if it's not exactly the same thing, but it is very reminiscent of that. So I think they have a great chance. Now, I mean, I feel like I felt before tonight, whoever came out, I was worried that if the Canadians went on to the Cup, they would win it. But originally, I believed that whoever came out of the West, Los Angeles, Chicago, whoever that is going to win the Cup, and that's how I felt. But there's something else going on here with the Rangers, and for them to not blow it and go to a Game 7.
No, that's true.
You know what I mean? That shows some kind of. I mean, everything just shows. I don't know what's the resilience. And Henrik Lundqvist, coughing that up yesterday in Montreal, having one of those Montreal games and moments the other night, and then for Lundqvist to come back and be like, "No, watch this," shut out.
Yeah.
So that right there just shows that this is a different team. This is something different. So it's going to be a battle, I think, in the Stanley Cup, whoever it is.
I think that is absolutely an excellent point, and it actually gives me a little hopes because I'm looking for ways for the Rangers to be able to go to the next round, and it's kind of difficult for me to come up with reasons because of the style of play, the discipline play on both those teams on the other side. But I think that's a great point. I mean, this could have been very easily. They go back to New York and cough another one up. I mean, Lundqvist gave up 4 goals on 14 shots. That's unfreaking acceptable in the NHL, but much less a team vying for a Stanley Cup final bid. But that's a really good point, and that does make me feel a little better. What are your feelings, Troy? I mean, where are they going forward? Again, brutal honesty.
Absolutely. I think they have a chance, whether it's the Blackhawks or the Kings. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be an uphill battle either way. I think both the Blackhawks and the Kings are the better team, but that doesn't mean to completely count the Rangers out. Like Dan said, when anybody's hot, they're hot. They can go anywhere. And that's, like I said, that's the Rangers' biggest strength is Hank. What they're going to have problems with either team, obviously with Chicago, pretty obvious their problem is their goal scorers. So it's going to really, Hank's going to be at the top of his game at every single match. The problem with Kings, of course, opposing goaltender Jonathan Quick, and they're a really well-structured team. Like you said, they're another team that really doesn't make mistakes.
No.
They know they're not one of the most, physically threatening or offensively, goal-scoringly threatening teams, but they have a game plan. They have a very structured team, and they don't make a lot of mistakes. The trouble with the Rangers is going to be getting the game plan together. Throughout the past series they have, they went to 7 games with Philly, went 7 games with Pittsburgh.
Sure.
They only went 6 here. But part of the problem is they're, not a very cohesive team. There's a lot of different goal scorers. Not too many people are that consistent. So they're really going to have to get down, get a good game plan together, bear down, and work together as a team to beat whoever they end up facing.
I think, boy, you guys are really on target today. This sounds like a goddamn real show. Unbelievable.
Oh, and one thing worth mentioning is I know most people are going to be more afraid of the Blackhawks, but New York actually took the Blackhawks both time this year. Low-scoring games, too, 2-1 and 3-2. So
I don't think that means anything.
Chance.
I got to be honest with you, I don't think that means a thing. I know that it was brought up by Doc Emmerich towards the end of the broadcast. I don't think that means a thing. I've seen it not mean a thing too many times to even. I'm not even considering that. I think what Joe said was more so on the money. I think they have a chance because they are able to battle adversity. But I don't think that regular season victory means a thing. I think it just means it's possible.
I wouldn't say it means a thing, but it's always an indicator. It's always something to look at,
It means that they can do it under certain circumstances, but exactly. The playoffs are a season in itself, and teams change so much going into those plays. They become very different teams by the second round of the playoffs, much less by the Stanley Cup final. So, the Rangers do have a chance. I'll be pulling for them. The other thing is, I'm no real diehard Ranger fans, and I consider myself one. Won't be saying that because everybody's going to have cup fever in New York, and I will too. But I got to be honest with you, if this doesn't work out, I can't complain as a Ranger fan. At least I think that. Now I hope a player doesn't have that mentality. But this has been a spectacular season. We did win at least a type. What's that?
Reminds me of the Red Sox last year.
That you were happy. Yeah. Well, I mean, no one really saw them running the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, even going to the World Series, I was like, how can the Reds? I cannot. Why are the Red Sox here? This is unbelievable. And it wasn't the, like, oh my God, yeah, of course we're going. Fuck yeah, like here we go. Mm-hmm. I was more like, I can't believe we're here. And when it was over, I still couldn't. It was weird. It almost wasn't. That's how I feel like you're acting with the Rangers team right now. Although maybe you'll come out of it now that they're in the cup. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I tell you something. I expect from the Rangers, and I know I'll get it. I'll get 100% effort. No one's going to go in there. They have to be smart.
And I said that to you, by the way.
What's
not
that?
To interrupt again. The other night, remember when they were down? I said I don't care. The fact that they scored 4 goals, we watched them running around like their fucking heads were on fire, trying to do anything when they were down 6-4, when they were down 5-4, when they were down before that. That team, even though they lost 7-4 the other night, that fucking team, they were not giving up. They were they were showing it. It was a different look. Like when the Bruins were down, they weren't doing what they did last year in Toronto and putting their, just putting their balls on or whatever. They were kind of shrugging around and stuff like that. It was a whole different thing. So you could see that New York was treating it that way. That was a great sign the other night, but leading into this game.
I got to bring up something a little bizarre to keep this conversation going. And you guys hang on as long as you can, because I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this.
Until we're dead from the fucking drinking.
Yeah. How do I add Jake? Jake's trying to get in. I'm trying to. Oh, here we go. Add the group. Here he is. Legendary Jake Link. How much is Ryan Callahan have to be kicking himself right now?
He might be dead right now. I mean like,
he
must be losing his mind right now.
This is a guy that literally...
There's someone on suicide watch.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be... By the way, legendary Jake Link is just joining us on this Shot from the Point special newscast. You got it. This guy played chicken with his contract. He wanted to be a Ranger. He's not a high-scoring goalie, but he brings something to the Rangers that really it's immeasurable. I think Jake, even being a Devil fan, has a lot of respect for Ryan Callahan. But he played chicken with his contract, and then this weird thing where St. Louis got French all of a sudden. He felt snubbed for being on not being on the Canadian Olympic team initially. Then he goes on because of a Stamkos injury and wins the damn gold medal. But he's still, being French, can't get over it. And Ryan Callahan finds himself to be Tampa Bay Lightning, eliminated by the team that the Rangers would go on to eliminate.
Here's the thing, though. But are the Rangers there if Callahan's on the team still?
I wonder. That's a great question. I don't know.
It seems like.
What do you think? That's a great question. Can Ryan Callahan lead this team? Certainly Ryan Callahan can't have. If Ryan Callahan's parents passed away, unfortunately, I'm sure there would have been a similar reaction by the character of this team, but I gotta think that this horrible event that has united this team is the reason. And no, Ryan Callahan couldn't reproduce that because first of all, you wouldn't want to. Second of all, it's just one of those freak things that the teams either kind of fall by the wayside or band together. I'm not even just saying just based on that. I'm just saying St. Louis and Ryan Callahan are just two different types of players. Any day of the week, you're going to take a St. Louis over a Ryan Callahan. That's true. It's just such a bizarre,
much more dynamic player. Absolutely.
Oh God, he's first round Hall of Famer. I don't think Ryan Callahan's going to the Hall of Fame, but I'm sure he'll be remembered as a great Ranger, and I think he'll go on and have a great career. But he made a terrible mistake, I think, and it's just like he was like, I know the team needs me, and we did need him. He brings something that you can't buy. He brings something like a Patty Bergeron brings to the team, and he lost. And it's weird for me because I was my favorite player.
Yeah,
but it is. God, you think we should land that interview, Jake? Brian Callahan?
Yeah, I think we could. I think someone's on suicide watch right now.
Actually, he'd hang up
A,
in 5 minutes.
a remote just went through the TV in Tampa.
Jesus. I wonder if there's any chance. If he resigns with the Rangers. That is not out of the realm of possibility. You know that? Because
St. Louis?
St. Louis, I think, is a guarantee. Now he's definitely a guarantee. But Ryan Callahan could conceivably come back next year. He's taking less money, but
I think there's a lot of bad blood.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, it seems like it's too late.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, you don't. Somehow, if you're wearing the C, you're the most respected player on that team. Everybody's supposed to love you.
Yeah.
And then they ship you out of town. You gonna want to come back?
No.
I'll tell
probably
you
even want him back.
Yeah. I tell you something, because you got to figure. I know when Mark Messier left the New York Rangers after Wayne Gretzky took less money to play with them because they had such a high salary, and then he didn't get what he thought was really 1994 money, which he did deserve. And because he was told, hey, look, we have Gretzky and we can't pay you the kind of money. He was like, wait a minute, I won the Stanley Cup. I'm going to Vancouver. That really put a bad taste in Gretzky's mouth. And I had read that their relationship really dwindled in the late 90s all the way into the 2000s, that they did not have the same relationship going forward. You got to wonder if a lot of the guys in the team are like, hey, dude, you're our captain. I mean, are you serious? No trade clause? $500,000 you couldn't settle? I mean, you've got to figure the other players are like, wait a minute, you know.
If the Rangers did win the cup and if Callahan came back, I'll tell you one thing, that'll be a very awkward ring ceremony.
Oh, it's so bizarre.
Wait, he actually will get a ring now.
Who?
Callahan.
No, you won't. You got to be in the team.
No, you still get a ring.
No, you don't.
Play half the games, I think, or something.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, he played enough games.
Are you kidding me? No, he's got to be on the team. I understand that coaches and
No, you get a ring if you. It's like Benji Molina for the.
Got a ring. He'll be on the. I don't know if he'll be on the cup. What's the cutoff for that?
I don't think he'll be on the cup, but I think he will get a ring.
Are you kidding me? Can we confirm this, or is this is like news to me?
I know in baseball there was Benji Molina. He played for. He was traded from the Texans to the San Francisco Giants, and they were both playing. So regardless, he got a ring.
Are you kidding? But that doesn't mean it applies to the National Hockey League.
I think it works for hockey because
Really?
It might work the same way.
Trying to think of who got traded on the what happened with the Bruins that season, and he got a ring, and I can't remember it now, but I remember them talking about it. And then one of the guys was on the cup, or had to get put on the cup, and then Savard got they wanted Savard to get on the cup, but that was a different type of deal. But
yeah, well, I mean, he was still technically on the team. I mean,
but no, this was somebody you have to play a certain amount of games in the season, but I don't know what the restrictions are as far as the playoffs or anything like that. In fact, I'm trying to look it up now.
All right, let's move on.
I got it right here. Prior to 1977, only players who had completed the Stanley Cup playoffs were eligible. So today, all it takes is a player to appear in at least 41 regular season games or one Stanley Cup final game for the championship team. So it doesn't matter if he wasn't on a team, he played 41 regular season games, so he'll get the name on the cup.
He'll get his name on the cup too? That's unbelievable.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's got to be a bad taste too. I don't know. I want to go on. I think it's just a strange subject that we could probably touch on during the summer if the Rangers actually win.
Bad.
But it's bizarre. I mean, it's just really bizarre.
How about we get the Rangers to put us all on the roster for one game?
Yeah, exactly. Rudy me into the cup, right? What was that? He had to get on. He had to get like one play in, and then that gave him the chance to be on Notre Dame. I don't know why anybody likes football. Well, anyway, Jake, I'm going to ask you, what are the Rangers' chances? You actually in our pool predicted the Rangers to win the Stanley Cup. I mean, why did you think this was their year? I mean, it's really incredible. Looking back, it's an incredible pick. What was your logic?
my logic was that just hot at the right time.
Yeah.
The momentum going in.
How did you know that they would get so hot? I mean, obviously you couldn't have predicted, the tragedy that kind of that brought this team together. But how could you have possibly predicted that they would carry this sort of any momentum in? I mean, the Rangers did struggles in big portions of the last season.
Well, Tommy, if I tell
Mitch
you
Cleo
that,
told him.
What's that? What'd you say, Troy?
Said Mitch Cleo told him.
Tell me,
Tommy, if I told you that, then you would be working for Puck Daddy too.
I want my money. You never paid me either, Tommy. That was Miss Cleo. We didn't know.
Yeah. No, it's just, I mean, it's very easy. It's very easy to go with the Boston pick. It's very easy to go with the Chicago pick.
Sure.
It's just, you look at the team, you look at who they have and the players they got.
Mm-hmm.
They're a pretty solid team with backed up with a good goalie who does get a lot of criticism in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Good and bad. It's completely, guys are calling. I heard somebody actually calling like a month or two ago saying that Cam Talbot should be the starter.
Yeah, well, that's New York for you. I gotta be honest with you. That's just New York sports. I guess. Man, I had a really kick-ass question in my head and I lost it. Oh no, here it is. This one's for. Yeah, run down the streets of Quincy and start yelling Rangers.
I will.
Really?
By the way, my friend had a really good stat. My friend had the best status. He said the Rangers really pulled this one out. It was a close one throughout, and they beat the Minnesota Twins tonight.
Hey, listen. Let me ask you, Jay, because you've been critical of the King before. You always say kings have rings. Joe brought up a good point, saying that it really said something to have just like to kind of just completely like cough it up in game 5 to come back and look this solid to throw. I mean, we Henrik Lundqvist had a shutout tonight. Do you think
here's an interesting stat about Lundqvist, which his stats are just odd.
His stats are bizarre, but he
the
never wins
interesting
when he's.
Stat is after a game where he gives up 4 or more goals. In a game, he comes back and has he's pretty much 5-0 in the playoffs with a 1.17 goals against average.
Oh, that's unbelievable! And he usually wins right after he loses too. That's why the Rangers had so many game 7.
It's the bounce back. I mean, you look at it from one direction, it's horrible, but then you look at it from another, like the game 7s. Yeah. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah, look, he always managed to hang in there. Let me ask you something, because there's always the obviously the Marty Lundqvist rivalry, so to speak. Does Lundqvist get the respect he deserves, or I don't say deserves? I mean, that's up to you. But does Lundqvist shake that thing that he's just a pretty face and not a superstar when you really break down to it? Is he the real deal, Holyfield? Is he in that class of maybe potential Hall of Famers with this particular win?
If he wins the cup, he can be in that class, because in New York, and same with Boston, the second you do something great, you're a legend forever.
Your legend forever.
But nobody ever remembers you if you just came second place.
I just put this on the screen right now. If you're, it's a picture of a graveyard. It says, "Hey Montreal, we've saved you a spot," and it's got all the other teams on the fucking tombstones. And by the way, that is the last Canadian team. Every single other Canadian team did not make the playoffs this year, which is just bizarre. And that makes it that'll be at the end of next year. It'll be 22 years in a row that a Canadian team has not won a Stanley Cup.
Now, if you can just keep Montreal off the cover of NHL 15, we'll be good.
You think that
NHL 15 Bergeron?
NHL 15 Bergeron. We got
Bergeron is leading right now, according to the EA Sports assholes.
Let me talk to the people out there real quick. Listen. The Boston fans have been, and I'm talking to Ranger fans because there's a lot of you. The Boston fans have been very good to us. I think we could very least pay them back with giving a great by voting for a great player like Patty Bergeron. Make it so many votes that they can't even fix it, because Troy told me an interesting fact. Troy, what is the deal with the NHL 15 voting? There's a sneaky rule in there, correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's going to happen with most contests. EA does reserve the right to not go with the voting. I think their exact wording is, EA may consider the voting results, but is not bound by them.
That's
makes
if
sense.
somebody
You gotta
goes
be
Danny
careful.
Heatley.
You don't want somebody pulling a Danny Heatley and you having to stick him on the cover.
Yeah, Danny Heatley. You can't or somebody ends up like I don't know, like that guy in the Patriots last year.
Yeah.
That killed his buddy for like no good reason.
You know what? I changed my mind. I
three
hope
other people.
PK Subban wins and then murders somebody so he doesn't get the cover, and it's a bummer for Bergeron anyway.
Tommy, Ray Lewis was on the cover. And so was Mike Fitz.
Ray Lewis, the murderer.
After
Listen,
he
let's talk
got
about the Habs. Let's talk about the Habs a
he's-
little bit. I don't want to jump on. I want to seem like I'm a sore loser, but I did see weaknesses in their game, and I really do want to talk about the Habs. And I want to ask you, do they have a conditioning problem over there? I mean, is it reasonable for their defense to be so tired so much of the time, or are the Rangers just that fast? I mean, I really don't think the Habs had a chance in hell of beating either of those two teams had they been able to move on.
I'll tell you what it is.
You can't play defense like that. You can't get tired like that. You can't be putting your heels all the time. I mean, you really, most of the time when the players are tired, unless you like know something about the game or you're on the ice, or you really don't notice it. But it was impossible in this game not to notice the Habs were sucking wind. I mean, you could see it. PK Subban's just breathing heavy. I mean, yeah, he took a lot of shifts. Like, what does that say about this team?
Took a lot of shits too. No, they're built for the power play and odd man rushes, like breakouts.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Montreal is built for. That's why when they compared the speed of the Bruins, like, oh, Montreal's faster, and look out for the speed of Montreal against the Bruins. But against New York, every guy on the New York team was just had speed because they all turned it on into some other level. And the Canadiens played the same game they've been playing, but they didn't get those odd man rush chances, every single game.
But you're not going to get them against a Ryan McDonough and Dan Girardi. I mean, the Rangers, the Tortorella built defense, the core of that Tortorella defense is still there. I don't know. I mean, how did they think they were? Looking back, I don't know how they thought they were going to win. You can't be tired like that. You can't just count. And that's why they were diving so much in Game 4, because it really basically came down to then getting a power play and getting into that. I mean, let's face it.
How many power plays did they have tonight? Because I noticed that it didn't seem like Montreal had a lot of power plays tonight, and they feed off standing around and passing the puck back and forth to each other, and then scoring some crazy goal, because they got the power play, and that didn't happen tonight except for when they had the goalie pulled.
Yeah. I guess you're right. That's the only way they were able to. Well, I mean, let's face it. I mean, let's give credit where credit's due. PK has a sweet slap shot, but I mean, it's just
it was missing tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you got to be on the power, you have to be able to get it to him. And
you got to be able to dive.
Yeah, you got to be able to dive. Actually, I really do believe I can't pronounce that guy's name, Pahetnik or whatever his name is. He was the worst of the two divers. As far as
Spanish is a bitch. I hate him.
Yeah, he really is a punk, man. I tell you something. He really is. I tell you something. I like PK. I just wish he wouldn't disrespect himself.
He's Jekyll and Hyde is the problem. Sometimes you like him, and then other times
it's tough to, especially when you're playing it, because he's a good person. I don't know about. I have problems with his style of hockey. And
he's a
I like
smart guy. I've never heard anyone better in post-game interviews than PK.
Yeah, he grew up. His parents were school teachers, man. I mean, he comes from a line of like intellectual people. So, and he's a smart guy. And he's
spoken.
Yeah, he's very. What did you say, Jake?
I said, don't say the phrase "well spoken."
I didn't say that.
Okay.
You were going to, you big dumb racist.
I was going to say, there's so many things I want to say right now. But I can't.
No, let's not go there. But I tell you something, I like PK, I like his personality. I love the kid Toharski. Toharski's got a real future in this league. Toharski doesn't play at top level that he was playing. I mean, it was just he looked like Marty Brodeur out there.
Yeah, they might as well just carry.
The Rangers would have beat him 4 straight.
You know what? I had a sneaky suspicion that Carey Price was going to come back in Game 7.
I don't think they would have. Even if he was, I think if he was available, I don't think they would have put him in.
I think if he was available, I think they would have went with him because he was actually skating in pads.
Yeah, he was. Excuse me. We can't really underscore that, and it is getting me underscored because of Toharski's great play. This team, and it was an accident. I'm sorry, Montreal. I know they tried to make this a bulletin board issue, but it wasn't. It was an accident. Carey Price coming off this team was definitely a huge issue, but I don't know how much of a huge issue it was because Toharski pretty much stood in his head. I mean, he really didn't even get cracked until a game that he actually still won. I mean, he was amazing.
Their excuse goes out the window. Their whole like Carey Price wasn't here. You knocked him out, and blah, blah, how dare you?
Yeah, no, it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. And like I said, I like PK. I want to get this out. I like PK. I like Toharski. I wish him the best. I like Carey Price. The rest of those guys, you can have them. I'm gonna miss them. I don't like them. I just the diving thing just makes me physically ill. I know they see it as doing anything to win. It makes me physically sick, and I don't. After watching, especially the Russians and the Worlds this year,
doing anything to win. Yeah, I could fucking knock a bicyclist off his bike while we're racing in a bike race.
Exactly.
Do anything to win.
Yeah, unglue his skates, so they fall off when he gets in the ice. I mean, it's so stupid. That was a great point.
You do what you can to win. So that they glue the skates.
Why don't I bring a gun on the rink? I could win every
game.
Mighty
Ducks 3, you put everything in nitrogen.
Including the box office. No, I think it was straight to video, but it was great.
All right, everybody. Does anybody have any final comments? And I think we'll close this out and let everybody go.
The final comment is let's stay on for another hour and fucking rage. Cup. We want the cup. We want the cup.
This is the only time that someone from Boston will root for a team from New York. So enjoy it while you can.
But Joe's going to keep doing it throughout the playoffs. So we pulled him. We pulled for the Blackhawks last year. For the Boston last year. We pulled for the Bruins. We wanted the Bruins to beat the Blackhawks. So I think they're going to. I can't expect Troy to do that, but I think Joe is going to return the favor, right, Joe?
Yeah, they beat Montreal, so now they're my buddies. So I want them. I just like them. I like the team. Yeah. Like I know LA's nasty and all that stuff, and I know when Chicago beat the Bruins, and they've already won a couple times. I'm sick of that, man. New York Rangers. A lot of people pulled for the Rangers. It makes me think back in the '90s when the Rangers won the Cup, and around here everyone pulled for them, actually, believe it or not. And to this day, I go to pick up games, and guys still talk about how they, the Rangers were great that year. We like, I don't know. It's weird how we don't have a thing for the Rangers, but we want.
But had me and you been born in the 50s or 60s,
I'm gonna leave on this note.
Well,
I will root for the Rangers. If they play the Kings.
But you can't do it if they play the Blackhawks. Why?
I will do it if they play the only reason is because I think the Rangers fan base deserves to have a cup more than the LA Kings fan base.
I see. Well, Jake, you and me are going to be buddies then, because I'll root for the Rangers if they're playing the Blackhawks, but if not, my boy Jonathan Quick's going to shut those fuckers.
You're going to root for the Rangers. Hey, Jake. Oh, geez. I'm not. You know what it is? It's 5:30 in the morning.
That's a lot for me to say, because I hate the Rangers. And that is tough for me to say.
I can't imagine. Although I was such a bastard when the Devils won the Cup in '95. This is so weird too. My family.
2003, but go on.
Yeah, I know. I never had. I really hate the Devils. I grew up hating the Devils. I had to go to school with Devil fans. It was just like, I mean, it was like Palestine and Israel, man, and going to school every day. And I'm sure it was the same way for you. In 1995. Remember, my family, not hockey fans. I picked up hockey on my own and made them fans. And in 1995, I was a senior in high school, and I bought a big red Detroit Red Wings jersey just to show up in school, right? So I thought it would be really funny to have this Red Wings jersey, because, and of course, the Devils would go on to sweep them before the Red Wings would put their late 90s dynasty together. My father looked at me and says, "What the hell is that?" I was like, yeah, I'm going to bust everybody's balls at school. So he looks at me and goes, that's really shitty of you. I'm like, we're Ranger fans. What are you talking about? I was like, why don't you just take that off? I'm like, you're kidding me. I'm pulling their leg. You didn't have to buy that. You're just doing that to rub it in their face. I go, we're Ranger fans. We're not Devil fans. He's like, I don't care. That's shitty. And he walked out of the house, and I damn near got tears in my eyes because my father fucking rejected me. So I thought... yeah, it's like weird, right? So
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like what are you talking about? Because we're from New Jersey. We're not friggin' Devil fans. We're not Devil fans. But if you return, I will return the favor, Jake.
I'd root for if it was the Devils here, I'd root for the Devils.
Yeah, I can't say I wouldn't pull the Devils. I mean, there's a lot of guys in Devils I always liked.
I didn't like those Devils from, back in the late, that fucking trap
late
team that they
'90s,
had
early
for years.
2000s. Devils were freaking awesome. I mean, there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys in the Devils I like. A lot of personality.
What do you mean you hate the trap game? That's all we play online. We play Devil's defense.
It's kind of what the Bruins
That's the Alpha Joy's MO.
But let me tell you something. Something that eats away at Montreal's heart. By the way, if we can just pour some salt all over these.
Let's fuck with Montreal. Screw it.
So, what do they have? 26. I don't remember what it is. 26 championships, whatever it is. The most, Stanley Cups in the league. Something that eats away at their hearts, I bet, is 1919. I'm gonna wear a jersey that says 1919 because I know I guarantee these people at like lunchroom conversations over in Montreal are like, but we actually have another Stanley Cup. But no, it's not 26. It's 27. Because you forget 1919 was a no decision. The series between Montreal and Seattle was called off because of an influenza epidemic. So you know that they count that as a win. Like of course it would be Seattle. The American country.
When I was growing up, I had Flyer fans, Islander fans. Jake knows about this. Devil fans, and we're all like crammed into the same like small. Most idiots per square mile place in New Jersey. You never see any Frenchies down in Boston messing with you, do you?
No.
Have you ever seen a Montreal fan and got an argument with them?
No. I'm just talking about what they're saying in Montreal.
Yeah,
they don't see them around. You see, there's a lot of Quebec driving around, but
oh really?
Oh yeah,
I see them all the time in Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
they
really?
tour
I'll tell you, I've never really been able to argue with the Habs fan.
Yeah.
Mainly just because I can't understand the fucking word they're saying.
It's so distant. It's like North Korea. It's
And
like
I speak French.
Oh, do you?
It's like
Why do they
arguments
speak bad
between North
French?
Korea and another country. It's just in South Korea. It's just kind of like you hear things like, oh, they're crazy. Oh, we're crazy. They called the police.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head to bed.
Hey,
No.
get to bed. We'll see you Sunday.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yep,
yes.
I'll be
Check out Take Jake Link, comedian Jake Link, and I shop at 9 o'clock. Oh, Stu, that's my time. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's no
4
games
p.m.
going on, and we're going to be reviewing the up-and-coming
4
Stanley
p.m.
Cup Final, more than likely.
Whoa, 4 p.m.
We're doing 4 now?
You said 4.
I said 3. I changed it to 3 p.m. I said no. I said 3 your time. You said fine. Go check your Facebook.
3-4 Central. Get with
No,
it.
you said 4 o'clock.
Go look at your Facebook, but tell me right now when we're doing it so I can make an announcement because I made I don't know how many announcements with Troy when we did a post game and an intermission reports that you were going to be here at 3. So what time you want to do it? Just tell me what time.
4 o'clock. That's
You
what
sure?
we said.
I guarantee.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
Go look at your Facebook. I'll kick you in the tooth. You big hillbilly.
There. I said I said I'm good. You said cool. How's 4 o'clock? I said good.
Really? I wrote
Done.
4? God, my dyslexia sucks. All right, you're off the hook. See you at 4.
All right, see you guys.
Sounds like your dyslexia is doing great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's me that's the problem. Take care, Jake. I love you. Talk to you later. That was legendary Jake Link. What a good sport he is, huh, guys?
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
What a good sport he is. I know it's killing. By the way,
It takes a real friend to come on while sleep announcing.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to.
You guys continue. Say goodnight. I actually got to run. I'm getting yelled at. Go Rangers. The cup. Hey Montreal. Suck it. Tommy C. shot from the point. Click the like button and stick the thumb up his ass.
Yeah.
And to this hockey show that's gonna blow your mind and it may even blow you.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
All right, take care, Joe. Well, I guess it's just you and me now. I think we covered all the bases. Anything? I think we covered just about everything.
Yeah, I'd say so.
think we did it.
Remember the half plot? That was great. That was my favorite thing ever. And hashtag NHL 15 Bergeron.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, I think we covered it all.
I think we covered it all. In fact, yeah, let me talk to you again. Ranger fans, you're feeling good. You're feeling good about yourself. You're happy. The Boston Bruins gave us their support. So let's return it, and vote for Patty Bergeron. Either go on the website or hashtag Troy.
I need one up. And you follow me at I need one up, and you'll see me just plaster and hashtag NHL 15 burger on over the place. Make the Habs lose again.
Yeah.
Lose.
Hey, there's a joke they tell over here during the World Cup. How did the Habs win a Stanley Cup? That's a
How's
question.
that, Tommy?
They turn off their Xbox. Dun-dun-dun.
Oh!
Good night, everybody. A great series, great Ed Seaton Stanley Cup final. Check out Shot from the Point live at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be here. The legendary Jake will be here, and we're going to see what's happened. We have lots and lots of news, and of course, we got the Stanley Cup final. It doesn't beat that. So stick to Shot from the Point, subscribe, hit the like button, or hit me up on Facebook. Thank you very much, everybody. Good night. Ugh. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Shot from the Point Live. Check it out with comedian, legendary Jake Link. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard. Shot from the Point Live. 3, 2, 1. We're done. Thank you for coming on. That was fun.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Yeah. So how you doing? I don't want to wait. Let's cut off the broadcast. Bye, bitches.